Hello, hello. I'm just checking in. I wasn't sure if I'm going to do a live before the holidays, but I really wanted to. So, yeah, here I am. So, today is the 23rd, right? Okay. It's just gonna be probably kind of like a quick one because at 12 I really need to stop the live. I need to take some medication and it's gonna have to be at 12. So, okay. So, how is everyone doing? Did you do your Christmas shopping? Like, oh my God, today I went outside. I just needed coffee from Asda, okay? And the shop was full. There was so much traffic. Oh my God, I couldn't wait to get out of the shop. Seriously. I don't understand why people buy so much stuff because the stores are closed. What? One day? Yeah, it's just one day. I don't know. But anyway, it's fine. It's fine. It's just me. I don't really like being outside or, being in the shop with people. And during the holidays, it's very busy. Yeah. And I also went to my local farmers to get some milk. And I'm freezing cold. Yes, I am. But okay, guys, since I'm doing this live, I know I've said for quite some time now, I think I'm ready to give you my review of Bernt Stellander's book, The Foreign Detective, The Sudden Impulse. But before I do that, let me just make this clear, please, 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 please. I've never done a book review before, okay? So I have absolutely no idea if I'm doing it right, but I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try not to give away a lot of things because then you won't want to read the book for yourself. And I think that the best thing you can do is to read the book for yourself and you will come to your own conclusions rather than, listening to me or what I'm saying, because each and every one of us have got their own opinions and their own way of seeing and analyzing things. So yeah, let me have a look here. How do I put the chat on? Oh, where is it? Is it here? Oh no. Is it here? Oh God, I'm on my phone and I don't really use my phone for any lives. And each time it's like Chinese language, if you will, to me. So, hi, Okaran. Thanks for joining. Hi, Noah. So, tonight, like I said, I'm going to be talking about Bernt Stellander's book on the Madeleine McCann case. So, yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks so much for joining. I'll give you a couple of minutes. I hope you can hear me fine, see me fine. I see myself fine, apart from my messy hair, but it doesn't matter anyway. Is upside down? How is it upside down? It's not showing me upside down. Really? I hope you're not messing with me. The book, oh, for God's sake, the book. I'm such an idiot. See, you can definitely tell that I haven't done a book review before. And it's not upside down. You're probably seeing it as a mirror view. Yeah, I can see you're seeing it as a mirror view. But unfortunately, I can't do anything because that's the way YouTube is showing it in the live. I don't know how can I... No, there's no way I can do it. Oh, this is so weird. Okay. Is there... I don't think there is any way I can actually go into settings here. No, I don't have any setting on my phone for the live to change the view. It's a mirror view, sadly. So the Sudden Impulse, Bernt Stellander, the foreign detective. Oh, it's such a shame. How about, it's still a mirror view, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to really show the whole thing, the whole book, because then what's the point of a review, right? I'm just gonna say that Bernt Stellander, he sent the book to me for free so I can review it. Just a disclaimer, as you can see here, it's also signed. He signed it for me so I can review it for everyone, and this is for all of you guys who are interested and you are always following me in terms of the Madeleine McCann investigation and the case and the controversy and all the theories surrounding it. So yeah. No, I'm fine, thank you. How are you? I see that my viewers who are interested in the Madeleine McCann case are not here, or they haven't said hi to me. But anyway, if you guys are not here, you know, you can catch up on this video later, on the live later. I know that it was, again, just like most of my other lives, unscheduled and kind of like a last minute. But here we are. And that's just how I'm doing it, really. Who likes my Christmas earrings? They are Christmas llamas. Look how cute they are. Okay. So guys, Bernt Stellander, for those of you who don't know, he used to be, I'm gonna read actually right from the book so that I don't make any kind of mistake. So Bernt Stellander, a Norwegian born in 1967 in Graz, Austria. His father, who was also Norwegian, studied medicine in Graz, and he met Bernt's Austrian mother at the university in Graz. Bernt grew up in Tromsø, in the land of the midnight sun and the northern lights. He spent a high school year in Missouri, USA, as a foreign exchange student. Bernt has experience as military police in the Norwegian army and in the UN forces in Lebanon. Bernt used to play semi-professional football, or soccer as Americans might know it as, but he was severely injured in a match while being a student. He's educated in optometry in Kongsberg and business and economy at NHH in Bergen. I'm quite sure I haven't pronounced the names right. But yeah, Bernt, he took a very special interest in the Madeleine McCann case, and he's been investigating the case for a very long time. And that's how he came with this book. He released the book. And in this book, he says everything that he found during his investigation on the Madeleine McCann case. And if you guys are interested in buying the book, because obviously I'm not going to give away everything that's in the book, I'm just going to, you know, tell you a couple of points here and there, then just check the description under my video after I finish this live, and I'm going to leave you links for where you can get the book from. It's a very long book. It's 800 pages, but it's worth going through it and reading it. I have seen a couple of reviews who were done on Bernt's book, and also a few comments on my other videos on here, saying that there is a lot of repetitive information throughout the book, the same information repeating over and over again. And yes, whilst I can confirm that there is a lot of information repeating itself, Bernt, he makes a point, and from my point of view, he's justified in the repetition of the same information. And you know why? Because whenever he repeats this information, he repeats the information analyzing a different angle or a different point of view of his, and so it makes it much better for you to actually visualize and understand what he's trying to explain if he's going to, you know, repeat the same information. I'm giving just an example: timeline. He repeats a lot the timeline of the events with Madeleine McCann, and the reason he does this, from my point of view after reading the book, is because he's trying to make all of us understand the explanations that he's giving us, and having the timeline repeated at the same time, it makes it easier to visualize and to understand what he means. For me, at least, it was very helpful, because being such a long book with so much in-depth information, if you are just reading without having, how can I say, without having a reference point, it kind of gets lost and you kind of get lost. But with this timeline repetition and other stuff that repeat themselves, it gives you a better understanding, and it gets you to keep on going, because you will be able to get to the point that he's trying to make by doing that. So I don't think that him repeating the same information in so many different parts of the book is a bad thing. I think it's meant to be helping us so we can all understand. Bernt, English is not his first language. However, he wrote the book in English. So his book is very easy to understand for everybody. It's not a complex language being used, but it's rather a simple language, and it makes it very easy for everybody to understand what he's talking about. The information in the book is public information that a lot of us know already from PJ files and the public resources available, but also his own part of the investigation and the clues that he found in regards to the Madeleine McCann case. Excuse me. So yeah, all in all, I really think that you should be reading his book, because it's going to give you a lot of details which are nowhere else to be found. And like I said, he's been on this investigation for a very long time. He spent time in Portugal. He spent time with a lot of people who are connected in a way or another to the Madeleine McCann case. So I think that in his book, he knows what he's talking about, and he talks with having something to back it up. So it's not just like, okay, let me just say this because I just want to say this, right? Overall, I'm gonna say that me personally, I absolutely hate reading books, okay? And I would rather listen to an audiobook and carry on doing my stuff at the same time than sit down and read a physical book. But this is the only book that I actually managed to read from beginning to end, because it's very interesting, it's very well structured, and it's filled with information, and it keeps your thinking going constantly. So it's not something which is going to bore you at all. And yeah, it's always I think that the best feeling you can get is when you actually hold a physical book in your hand and you are reading it. I mean, I'm kind of old-fashioned, and if you would be between choosing a physical book to read or reading a book on a Kindle or anything like that, I will always go for a physical book, because on a Kindle it's just not the same. It's not the same feeling you get. Like, for example, when you read a page and then you flip the page physically, right? On the tablet or Kindle, when you read the book, you don't do that. You just swipe, or swipe like this. So it's not the same feeling. Okay. Now this is more or less what Bernt's book is about. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going into detail because you really need to read the book so you can fully understand and appreciate all the hard work that he put into it over these many years out of his own pocket. So he paid for everything that he did himself. He didn't get any kind of financial support, and he really wanted to do this. He really wanted to get to the bottom of the truth. Did he get to the bottom of the truth by the end of the book? Do we know exactly where Madeleine McCann is buried? The answer to that is going to be in the book. I'm not giving away anything. So, just a couple of interesting points which I found, and just to give you kind of an idea or an example of what you can expect to find in the book is, I just made just a couple of notes. There are very few notes here. Just a couple of bits that I found interesting. These are not all the bits that I found interesting, but just a few. Hi, Dorothy. Thank you so much for joining. I'm here to listen to you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. So, consider this my Christmas gift to you guys. My review of Bernt Stellander's book that I've started already. And so I'm going to point out a couple of bits that I found really, really interesting. And a lot of us who are in the community of the Madeleine McCann case and who don't believe the official story, we didn't really, mention this or talk about this. At least I didn't on a couple of points. And it's very interesting. So, I think that we already know this from the information that are publicly available, but Bernt Stellander is saying that another child's DNA was found on Maddie's bed, but not her DNA, which is always been so surprising to me, because if indeed Madeleine McCann was there and she was sleeping in that bed, how come there was no DNA of hers found, right? It should have been there. Another child's DNA was found, but not hers. So what's the explanation for that? How can that be? One point, and Bernt Stellander is going into more details about this. Another thing which I found very interesting, Bernt Stellander thinks that Maddie's toothbrush was used for the grout cleaning. You remember that the apartment 5A had tiles on the floor, right? So with tiles you have grout. Then you also remember that when PJ, they wanted to take something with Maddie's DNA on, and they asked for a toothbrush, for example, because obviously when you are with kids on holiday, each of the child, they have their own toothbrushes, right? But the parents' story was that Madeleine didn't have her own toothbrush, but she rather used her sibling's toothbrush, which is very strange, and it's very highly unlikely from my point of view, especially considering that these people, they are professionals, medical professionals. So the idea of hygiene to them is much more different, should I say, or perhaps much more comprehensive. I'm not sure I can find the word, but is much more deeper than the rest of us, right? Because them being medical professionals, they know a lot of things about germs and diseases and stuff like that, much more than we do if we didn't study medicine, if you get what I mean. Susie, hi Susie. Susie is saying, hi Kat, I thought it was a fascinating read and well researched. I couldn't put it down. It was so good. Completely agreed with you. So good, really. So, okay, going back to the toothbrush, in Bernt's opinion, Maddie's toothbrush was used for grout cleaning. So the grout between the tiles, okay? Now, this is a very plausible theory, because like I said, Maddie's toothbrush was asked by the PJ, so that they can get DNA. The parents' version was that she didn't come with her toothbrush and she used her sibling's toothbrush, right? So then, if indeed something happened in that apartment, then a cleanup happened after the crime, right? It would make sense that if there was any kind of spill, like say for example blood, then they would need something like a toothbrush to clean the grout. Now remember that there were specks of blood found, so Bernt's thought is not a bad one. It really makes sense. It's kind of logical. Hi Bonkers Beast, thank you so much for joining. Then we have something else that Bernt is saying. He also believes that Madeleine McCann, she slept in her parents' room. Which, okay, then going back to my first point that another child's DNA was found on Madeleine's bed, but not Madeleine's DNA. So if Maddie indeed was sleeping in her parents' bedroom, then you kind of explain why they wouldn't be able to find Maddie's DNA. But would it really? I'm not quite sure, even with that, even if she would have been sleeping in her parents' bedroom. Because, as we know, right, kids, they run around, they play around, they go about, they go exploring places. So it would be very unlikely, from my point of view, for Madeleine to go everywhere else in the house, but not on that bed, and more so that there was no traces of her DNA found anywhere. Hi Pirate Commander, thank you so much for joining. You are viewing from Scotland. Season's greetings. Thank you, you as well, and happy holidays. Moving on to another point, which I think was a great point in Bernt's book. He says that the staff at the restaurant, they got gagging orders and they were relocated. Okay, now this is another thing which I know that I've read or I found out from somewhere about the gagging orders, but I don't think that I've ever come across any kind of information mentioning that the staff, they were relocated. From what I've read, if I remember correctly, although please correct me if I'm wrong, they were dismissed or they lost their jobs. But okay, gagging orders. Now, gagging orders. You know that the gagging order is something that you need to sign in case you know something, but you shouldn't be releasing the information to everybody or anybody else, right? So that's basically, in my mind, what a gagging order is. So basically, legally, they had to sign a contract saying that they are not allowed to reveal anything that they know, otherwise they will be legally held responsible. So that's a gagging order from my point of view, not knowing a lot of things about legal stuff. So my question is, if nothing sinister happened and if none of the staff knew of something suspicious, then why would they be getting gagging orders? Why? Because you don't normally get gagging orders when there is a police involvement in the sense of an investigation of a missing child. I don't think you do. So why the gagging orders? I wonder. And if so, who did the gagging orders come from? Who actually gave the gagging orders? Who made the paperwork for the orders? Because surely it must have been made by a legal person, like a solicitor, a lawyer, or something like that, whoever is dealing with these gagging orders. So then this would mean that, this would mean that somewhere along the line, I would think that very close to the beginning of Madeline's disappearance, that the McCanns, they already got the legal team involved, and in my opinion, and they were trying to kind of work out what to do and how to do it so that something against them doesn't really come out. I don't know. What do you guys think? As for relocating, where were they relocated? And I'm also curious to know, were they paid? I would say paid off, because that would be my opinion, but let me just keep it casual and just say that they were only paid to kind of relocate in another part for their job or whatever. But again, who is the one who arranged everything? This is a great point that Bernt Stellander is making in his book. The pirate commander is saying, surely if there were a gagging order, we'd not know of one at all, or we would know who the order was taken out by. To be honest with you, I have no idea how a gagging order works. All I can tell you is from any kind of movies that I was watching, and I came across people mentioning gagging orders. And in the movies that I watched, if they are anything close to any kind of legal truth, then people usually said, I really don't know. Pirate commander is saying I do, so that means that you have knowledge of the legal bit in terms of the gagging orders. I really don't know, if I'm honest with you, unless the information is buried somewhere. I have no idea. I really don't know. So I can't really give any kind of opinion on here because I just don't know enough legally. Although we do know that over time, a lot of things disappeared, a lot of information disappeared when it comes to the Madeleine McCann case. And a lot of things were deleted as well. Things which were found on the Wayback Machine. So yeah, we also know that a lot of blogs and a lot of pages and stuff like that were taken down. So I really don't know. Then I'm going to address a last point. It's not Bernt's last point in the book, but rather the last point that I wanted to address because I found it interesting. So according to Bernt, the Ocean Club management, they got a PR team. Okay, before I move on, let me see what Pirate Commander is saying. We'll message later if you want to carry on. It will have to be international too, which is almost impossible without national security. Or even message. Yes, if you don't mind doing that, please, I would really love a clarification from a legal point of view as to how exactly it works. If you can send me an email, my email address is under my channel's banner. I'm really looking forward to the email because I really want some clarification. Right, so you think that it's a lie that they got gagging orders? Right. Okay. Now I want to Okay, thank you so much, Pirate Commander. Okay, I'm gonna jump back to the last point I'm gonna make about Bernt's book. So the Ocean Club management, they got themselves a PR team. That's what Bernt is saying in the book. I've heard some stuff about this. I'm not quite sure where or when or how. I did hear about some PR team there, but my question again is, why would the Ocean Club management get a PR team? Although on another, if you think about it in another way, it also makes sense at the same time, because as a resort and with a lot of tourists and a lot of bookings, this was a scandal for them, for the Ocean Club Resort, in terms of their business, right? Because at the end of the day, it is a business. And any kind of negative things happening on premises of a business, it will impact the business, correct? That's how it is. And then you've got all the reviews of people, and then this whole case was just about everywhere plastered, in the press, online, in the media, so all over the place, in the newspapers, internationally. So then it would make sense that they would try to kind of, I don't know how to put this, but to kind of try and manage a bad situation so it doesn't affect their business. So in a sense, yes, it would make sense that they got a PR team. I don't find it surprising, or do I? I don't think I find it surprising. But on the other hand, I'm still, there is still a question at the back of my mind as to why get a PR team. But then again, I'm kind of changing my mind again, saying that, okay, it's a business, so they would need to protect their interests, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? So anyway, this is just a tiny bit from Bernt Stellander's book. I invite you, if you want an in-depth read, then Bernt Stellander's book is for you. And maybe by the end of the book, you'll find out where Madeleine McCann is buried. And this is the book. And like I said, so the book is called The Sudden Impulse by Bernt Stellander, the foreign detective. And here is Bernt. And yeah, it was a very interesting read for me. I managed to find out a lot of information and to learn a lot of information. There are a lot of theories which I didn't think about before. There are a lot of things in here which I didn't know before. So yeah, it's really worth buying it and reading it. 800 pages long, yes, I know, but filled with information. So again, I'm gonna repeat, if you guys are interested in his book, I'm gonna leave the link for where you can buy the book from under this video in the description after I end the live, because right now I'm on my phone, so I don't know how to manage it so well on the phone. I do much better on the computer because it's a bigger screen and be a different layout. So yes, for those of you who are watching, if you've read the book, what do you think of the book? Is it worth? And whilst I'm gonna wait, if anyone wants to answer in the comments, I'm gonna say from my perspective, like I said, disclaimer again, I received Bernt's book for free. He sent it to me for free, and he wanted to see if I am willing to review it after reading it. So obviously, being on the Madeleine McCann case and me being very interested, reading Gonzalo Amaral's books as well, of course, I really wanted to read another book, which there was a campaign, I think, or advertising perhaps, and it sounded very interesting to me, so I really wanted to. If he wouldn't have sent the book for free for me, I would still buy his book because, like I said, anything related to Madeleine McCann, I'm very interested in. Apart from Kate McCann's book, which I think is just utter rubbish. So yeah, I'm not gonna waste my money on Kate McCann's book because I don't see the point. But yeah, even if Bernt wouldn't have sent me the book free of charge, I would still buy the book. Just like I bought Gonzalo Amaral's book, The Truth of the Lie, and on the second book, I wanted to buy it. I couldn't find it, but then I found the PDF version of it online. I don't think it was the full book. I think it was kind of like a compressed version, and it was translated quite literally by somebody from Portuguese to English. So it wasn't any kind of an official translation of the book because I couldn't find it. I couldn't find to buy it. So yeah. Well, anyway, guys, it was great catching up with you. Now I'm a bit warmer, so it's okay. I'm sitting next to the radiator on the wall, so that's even better. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I wish you all Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and have fun, guys. Take care. Bye, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. I'm hoping I can do another live before New Year, but I'm not quite sure, so that's why I'm saying from now, Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Before I go, Bonkers is saying, I'm new to the McCann case, so I'm playing catch-up. Believe me, trust me when I say there is a lot of catching up to do on the Madeleine McCann case. Seriously, it's probably going to be very overwhelming at the beginning, that there will be a lot of information from everywhere, and it's going to be very hard for you to decide, okay, what am I going to believe? Okay, what do I believe? Do I believe this side? Do I believe this side? Or do I make my own opinion? But then again, my advice to you is, if you do want to make your own opinion about what happened to Madeleine McCann from the public information available, then you will need to do a lot of in-depth research and in-depth reading, listening, watching, and all of that to reach your own conclusion and to get your own opinion of what you think happened. You've got a lot of resources available. You have the PJ files, for example, and the PJ files are files which were uploaded by the Portuguese police. These files, they were part of the investigation. They are translated into English, but only 80% of all their investigation is uploaded on there. So there is still 20% of the information which is not public. And the PJ files is a great resource from the point of view of an official investigation. Excuse me. Susie is saying, I can recall, like you, that the staff were dismissed. I also think Bernt made good points about the second being a more realistic date. Yes, I agree with you. Yes. And if you remember, in our community of, our conversations in regards to the Madeleine McCann case, a lot of us do tend to believe that Madeleine died before the 3rd, when she was actually reported missing. And it kind of makes sense, because if she did die on the 2nd, then they would have much more time to get rid of evidence before reporting her missing. And yeah, this plays another, I forgot how I wanted to phrase this. Oh God. See, this is the bad thing about doing it live, because I can't actually edit the video. And I need a bit of time to process and to try and kind of, what's the word? I'm trying to think of the way to say it so that you can understand what I mean. I even forgot what I wanted to say. Oh, Jesus. No, it's gone now. It's completely out of my mind now. No, I forgot what I wanted to say. It was something to do with the second being a more realistic date, but I have no idea what I wanted to say. No. Nope. Nope. I'm losing my mind, guys. Sorry. Maybe it will come back to me after I finish this live. Sometimes when you don't even think about it, that's when you remember it. It happened to me so many times. I'm sure it happened to you as well. To a lot of you. So I'm still trying to think about it, you know. I can't even remember what I said just now when I was trying to make my point. No. Cat, you're going crazy. No, no, it's not coming back now. Nope. Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna end the live because it's not gonna come back now. As much as I try, and the more I'm gonna try, the worse it's gonna get. I'm not gonna be remembering it now. No chance. Okay, guys, again, I'm gonna say at the end, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I wish you all Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And yeah, don't eat too much. Don't drink too much or whatever. Christmas is just one day, right? So just indulge. Do whatever. Okay, guys. Bye.